Well guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's episode we've got a little bit of a snag list to go through on the Discovery 3, ready for our trip to the Alps. Now, it's not a huge list, it's just a few little bits and pieces, just tiny little stupid things like I've got to put the protective cover at the front underneath the intercooler hose, which I have left off for the last 2 months. I've also got to repair and replace a latch on this door because it's stopping the car from locking, and obviously when we go away and we're going abroad, we're going to have our luggage in there and camera equipment and stuff. We won't be able to lock the vehicle up securely, so that's going to get replaced. Now, I have done videos before on this, but it's just a quick refresher, so I'm going to go through it because it's definitely a job that you could do. 50 quid for a new latch, you're going to sort your vehicle out no problem at all. The other thing I'm going to do in today's video is replace my spare wheel support cable pulley, if you like, because it got jammed and I had to cut it off, and so we're not running around with any spare wheel at the moment, and that is something we want to run around with when we're going to the Alps. So a few different jobs. You can skip ahead to any of the ones that you want to do, or just use this as a reference, but I just thought this would be a great time to do a video because it is glorious outside and we're really getting excited for the trip to the Alps. So let's start with getting the door stripped off. Now, I actually did a quick refresher before I took this on, just to sort of have a look and see what I did, and there are some really good little tips in the last video, but it is a little bit long-winded, so I'm going to jump to all those tips now. So the first thing I've done is I've lowered my window, and that is because to get the regulator out, you need to detach the window, and if it's dropped down a little bit, it's a lot easier, and then we're going to push it up. So I've used a sucker, camera mount sucker, to hold the window in place, but you could just use masking tape, same thing. So we've got screws to remove. We've got 4 in here, 2 on each side. We've got 1 here, we've got 1 here, and we've got 1 here, and that's it. Little catch, you just release a little plastic tab and then the housing bit comes off. This does tend to fall apart, so just keep that safe somewhere. Yeah, got a little rubber seal on there. That's actually not a rubber seal, that's an adhesive seal. So it's got a little clip that you just fold the outer piece out and then it should lift up. There we go. There we are. Okay, so a little tab on the bottom to release. So to release the handle, pull it out and you knock it backwards to release the plastic clip, like that. That one there that's latched in. The door here, there's a little plastic T-bar which has got a screw in from the inside into it. Need to release that. You don't want to lose this one, so just put your hand underneath. Little Land Rover logo on there, look. Right, then all this should come out as one, I hope. There we go. So I don't know if you can see here, but this pillar has broken and they've tried to fix it with a zip tie. Okay, so the best thing to do to make sure you've got everything right is, first thing I think I'm going to do is release this one. We can't reuse this cable, we need a new one. What are the chances that LR will have one in stock? Right, let's go and see if we can find one of these in our stores, shall we? So I've had to go for genuine because we didn't have any aftermarket ones in, but the aftermarket one of these is 7 quid, so that's a bargain. I'll tell you what this is as well. Not sure at the moment. So, drops in from the top, little slot in there to receive that, and then you slide it across. And then we're in. Interesting that they've now changed the design. That was the original, and now this one's got more support. So let's get it all back together. Right, so I'm going to take my latch all assembled, try and get it in one. Well, I'm not doing it up tight, but I'm going to put the top one in as well, or one of them. Let's put our outer latch on. I can't quite see what I'm doing, that's a problem. Right, so that's located. Let me get my little T-bar in. There we go. So now we should be able to reinstall our regulator. Okay, and it should just slot straight in. And it has. There we go. Right, we're all good. So, easy bit now. Speaker back in, all the connections on, door card back on, and we should be good. That works. Wonder if it'll lock. Got the boot open. Locks. Yeah, brilliant. So that works. In the past, we would lock and this would open. Double unlock. Look at that. Nice. That's job number one. Right, so there's the shield we've got to fit after this. And this is the kit we're going to be fitting next. We've got 4 bolts on this piece, and they'll all be really badly corroded. And we've got 2 here, which I'm really hoping are captive. Oh, but they don't feel like it. So, let's get them lubed up. Easy, look at that. Right. They weren't lining up, so I've used my step drill just to open that up a little bit so I can get the bolts lined up. Okay, I think we are in, so obviously make sure you've got your bracket in place. Now, the angle of this plate sort of sits at a 45 degree. They don't go straight up, they go back a little bit, so that's how I managed to cross thread it, and they were knackered. So new bolt in there, but everything else was fine. This is our spare, which has seen very better days. It's flat, and I have spotted it's got a big nail in there, and there's barely any tread. I don't even think that's legal. So, as I said, we're going to get a new budget tyre on there for the spare, get it mounted in the vehicle, and we're away. So we'll go down to Tyre World and get them to source something out for us. So I've been saying for a while now that I would actually do the interior on this Discovery, because we did a test. You can see here, look, the difference between cleaned, not cleaned. That's not a shadow, I can promise you. It's all there, look, you can just see the difference. So yeah, that was where we marked it up. We made a bit of a boo-boo because we actually used tape that's marked the seat, so I'm hoping I can get that rack together again. Now I should have probably done the rears as a test first, to be honest, because they are hideous. So wanted to do a few little shots to show how dirty and grimy they all are, and hopefully when we come back and have another look, they'll be lovely and clean. Right, I've given them a quick blast with that cleaner, let that soak in. Now they say you can add some water. This one's been cleaned just up to this little edge here, look, where I've been obviously just rubbing it, but look how dirty it is in comparison. Big difference. So now I've got some Leather Honey leather conditioner. Well, do you recognize it? Look at that. So managed to get all the seats beautifully clean. We've done all the carpets as well. You can see down here, and the front. I mean, it's really made a difference, a huge difference getting all the leather clean. I mean, I'll show you some clips now of what it looked like when we first got it. You will not believe the difference. So, what do you think? I mean, that is quite the transformation. The interior now, honestly, it doesn't look brand new, but it does look really special. So, couldn't be happier, really. And I just think that is just such an important part of recommissioning a vehicle that's been out of commission for so long. You know, the finishing touch. And I've waited right until all the jobs are done. Well, pretty much all the jobs are done. And we've got the vehicle running, driving great. The last thing to do was obviously do the interior. And it's just such a nice place to be. I don't want to sell this car. I really don't want to sell it because it's so useful. It's been so reliable. It's been so grateful, which is a big deal when I've been working on Land Rovers. You know, I like a vehicle to be grateful. Let's hope it stays that way. But anyway, we are going to be driving this to the Alps. As I said before, we are driving to the highest point in the Alps, which is a 2,000-mile round trip. We're going to be going there towards the end of April, early May. Now, you guys are going to be able to monitor the whole trip because we've teamed up with SkyTag. They've got a new module that's out, and they're going to basically fit the tracker to the vehicle, and you're going to be able to log on and follow our progress 24/7 for the whole trip. You'll know exactly where we are. You'll know how fast we're going. You'll know how high we are. You'll know how long it takes us to go over a wee on the side of the road. You're not going to miss anything. And that, coupled with the constant updates, we're going to do live streams. We're going to do basically nearly a whole week of a road trip, and we're going to log every bit of it on camera on this app. So that's something to really look forward to from my point of view, and I hope you guys are going to come along for the ride as well. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So that's it from me on this episode. We've got one more thing. I keep saying it. I've ordered a budget tyre for the spare wheel because the spare wheel tyre was shot, and obviously we do need to run with a proper spare wheel. So that's going to have a new tyre fitted, and I really ought to do the alloys because they look really quite crap. So ideally, I'd like to do a quick machine polish on the whole body of the vehicle before we sell it on, and also paint those wheels, and then I think it's going to look really good. And I think we will get it sign written a little bit as well for the trip. So that's it from this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give us a thumbs up. I'm really trying to get 40,000 subscribers. We're not far off now, just a couple of thousand. It would be great to get that before we go on this trip, so I've got plenty of people that I can engage with when we do the trip to the Alps. It would be brilliant. So please do subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch you on the next one.